Right now, something near you is being eaten alive. The thing doing the eating wears armor. It carries a ring of loaded syringes around its mouth, and it fires harpoons on a rope. You have never heard its name because it is smaller than a grain of salt. Every puddle, pond, and ocean is a crowded jungle you cannot see. Squeeze out one drop of seawater, and you are holding about 1 million living things, plus 10 times that many viruses. That drop is a war zone, and it has been one since before animals existed. So who is doing the hunting down there? They are called protists. Around 2 billion years ago, life invented a cell that locks its instructions inside a nucleus, and everything complicated came afterwards. Every animal, plant, and mushroom is a distant cousin of these creatures. There may be 10 million kinds of them, and most have never been named. They also refuse to fit our tidy categories. Picture a lion that sunbathes all morning to make its own food, the way a shrub does, then cracks open an antelope with a poisoned tongue. Let us watch 3 of them work. Our first hunter looks like a furious little barrel in plate armor. Its body is sealed inside interlocking mineral tiles, which makes it very hard to bite. Between the tiles, hundreds of fine hairs beat in waves and spin it like a power drill. It screws itself into its prey and rips out mouthfuls. It rarely hunts alone, though calling that teamwork would be flattering. The smell of something dying pulls them in until a crowd circles whatever is having the worst day. Which brings us to a newly hatched fish, skin still soft and transparent, 50 times bigger than its attackers. A dozen of them spiral in, and now the armor stops being the frightening part. Around the mouth sits a crown of loaded syringes, small bags, each holding a coiled hollow needle. On impact, they all fire at once and punch through soft skin. What goes in is a blend of 19 different poisons. Membranes fall apart, cells swell and burst, the skin opens into ragged wounds. Then the drilling starts into tissue still dying. The fish thrashes and flees, but the chemistry of a struggle rings like a dinner bell, and hundreds more arrive. Within an hour, there is no fish left. We are very lucky to be enormous. Our second hunter fights a proper siege. The defenders are cyanobacteria, among the oldest living things anywhere, and the reason you can breathe. They grow as long green threads that stand up in the light and eat sunshine, braiding together into a shimmering emerald carpet. Then they do something clever. They vomit. The slime hardens into a clear, sticky, stubborn shell. You can see straight through it, and you cannot get through it. The gates are shut. This standoff between the organisms that built our sky and the things that want to eat them has run for roughly 1 billion years. Neither side has ever won. The attackers turn up looking harmless, squat furry slugs with small innocent mouths. They throw themselves at the wall. They get stuck. They grope across the surface, hunting for a flaw, until one finds a tear left by something bigger. Then the wall comes apart like wet paper. The green threads retreat deeper, and it does not save them. The hunters slurp them down whole, like spaghetti that is still alive, through a mouth ring built from 22 tiny grabbing arms. They have no teeth, so they spray hundreds of acid packets over their food and drink it as soup. Some bite in halfway and empty a thread from both ends. Eventually, the survivors fight back, and it is a little heartbreaking. Thousands are already gone. Their best answer is to stiffen the tips of their threads, so when a hunter latches on and pulls, the tip snaps off and the attacker gets nothing, the same trick a lizard plays with its tail. The rest pump out fresh slime, patching the holes and shoving the invaders back outside. The carpet keeps growing, and the hunters return to storm it again, the way they have every day for longer than there have been eyes to watch. Our last monster needs a disaster first. In warm coastal water, a protist armored in thick cellulose plates begins multiplying, and within days, billions become quadrillions. The sea hangs in rust-red curtains. Every one of those cells is a tiny weapons factory, pumping out one of nature's cruelest nerve poisons. Fish flee or die. Shellfish soak it up and turn lethal to anything that eats them. But the catastrophe is also an alarm clock. Sealed in a spore beneath it, something wakes. 4 separate beings fused into one cell, steering any direction on 8 tiny whips. Its favorite meal is exactly what caused the bloom, which makes it, entirely by accident, on our side, and it is armed like nothing else its size, a 2-stage harpoon gun, loaded inside a single cell. It hunts like a shark, circling its target and looping tighter. Then the first barrel fires, a stubby dart that cracks the armored shell and smears the victim in slime. A heartbeat later, the second unspools a long line with a sharp head that drives deep and anchors. The prey panics and shoots off its own crystal spikes. They achieve nothing. The line winds in, dragging it into a mouth that opens to swallow it whole, and acid takes it apart while it is still struggling. Then, like blood in the water, more of them arrive, and they kill so relentlessly that the red bloom shrinks and fades. Balance comes back. None of these creatures are villains. They are just life, grinding through a war that only ends when the sun finally scorches this planet clean. We are simply too big to notice, and the next time you go swimming, remember what is living in a single drop.